Your mission is to associate land use types recorded against each water meter in the Revenue Billing System data with a WATAM demand area. Later, you will use the water meter data from the Utilities Revenue Billing System as a record of the existing load on the system. And then you will let WATAM automatically assign the water meter data to nodes in the model. There are several steps required to make that happen. First, we need to check that the demand areas in the model match the land use types the utility uses in its revenue billing system. And when this is not the case, create the required demand areas. In the case study, you just need to check that vacant land, utility, commerce, church, reservoir, and house exist as demand areas. So let's go and do the check. In edit mode, and using the Subsystem Data Edit button on the main toolbar at the top, and selecting the Demand Areas tab. Here I can see that yes, the model has vacant land, utility, commerce, church, reservoir, and house. Each demand area uses the demand type labelled property base, which simply defines their base flow rate as 1 litre per second. This factor, when multiplied by the unit rate, defines the average flow rate over 24 hours used by this consumer type. In the case study, a house uses curve sequence number 4 and factor sequence number 4. To understand where and how these other pieces of demand data are defined, I will close this form and click the Global Data Edit button. Looking at demand types, each one simply provides some meaningful context through its label and sets the base size as 1 litre per second. Moving over to factor sequences and selecting factor sequence number 4, and here it is already. Here we see every day is the same in this sequence. Similarly, going to curve sequences and selecting curve number 4. Curve number 4 is used every day for a house. So what does curve number 4 look like? Going to the Demand Curves tab and selecting curve number 4. Don't have to, here it is already. When you get to this point yourself, use this graph and the table to answer the two questions. What proportion of average daily demand is drawn by a house at 2:30 p.m. and later at 7 p.m.? You need to know that times in this row start at 12 noon, so here is 2:30 p.m. and here is 7 p.m. For the case study, we have proven that our list of demand areas exists and have seen what parameters have been set for these demand areas. Closing these dialogues. It's helpful to understand that each demand area can be shown on the map in different colors and fill styles. Clicking the Edit Job Colors button and selecting Demand Area, here is where you change the color and cross-hatched fill pattern for each demand area.